There's fish. Yep, yep. Come on. He's still on there. Nice. Well, Kokanee, first one of the day. Come on, buddy. Gotcha. Nice. So I'm out on Lake Chelan today. I'd originally come out here to jig for max. Forecast was for light and variable winds out, primarily out of the south. And it's been anything but. It's actually very blustery out of the east. And unfortunately, being on the south end of the lake, it gets quite difficult to maintain position and jigs. So I've had to switch up to a backup plan, which is to chase some winter kokanee out here. This guy's going crazy. Good looking fish though to start the day. Kind of a late start because I tried jigging for an hour and a half, but I just couldn't stay on the marks long enough to catch anything. So anyways, first fish of the day. We'll see how well we can do and see if we can put at least a half limit in the boat before I get fatigued fighting this wind. Oop, there's fish on the dropper. Let's get him going. Lady of the lake just went by. It's a big passenger ferry, but she throws some serious wake, so always gets my nerves going. So here I had 6 ounces on a snap weight that I then clipped in 30 feet in and then let out another 120 foot of line. These fish are pretty deep, pretty much holding in a band from 95 to 120, and it is ripping out of the east. I mean, it's a 1 to 3 foot chop, wind chop, so it's very steep. I think it's there anymore. Let's see. Yeah, nice kokanee. It's smaller than the first one I got. Not bad. There we go. 2 kokanee in the boat. Nice. As soon as I stop pedaling, it's like, as soon as I do, I'm just thrown backwards by this stiff breeze. It's not very pleasant. Ooh, I wasn't gonna get you. Double stitched him. Through the top of the mouth, down through the jaw. Too bad. Another nice winter kokanee. So like I said, the first fish I got on the downrigger there was on a Paulina Peak. This is their heavy peak performer Wonder Bread Glow. And then I got a little micro minnow Indiana spinner, glow pink there, tipped with white Berkeley Gulp maggots. And I'm just doing about 30 foot set back off the downrigger, dropping it down to around 100 feet. And then I'm skimming the edge here of Wapato Point, kind of balancing between like the 110 foot and 140 foot line. And that's where I'm marking most of the fish. Let's see if we can get another. I got 2 there, that makes me happy. I lost 1 on my first pass and then didn't see much else, so I was getting a little concerned, but keep going here. Sometimes perseverance pays off. Okay, I'm just gonna go and drop that down to 100 feet and about 100 foot there. And on this one that I got the other fish on the snap weight, I got teardrop Arnold Palmer, the small 4.5 inch one with pink purple micro hoochie, UV, and green gulp maggots. Just give them a little bit of color choice. Alright, so then I'm going to go 30 feet out with that. And I'm going to clip in 6 ounce weight. That's what I like about these Paulina Peak rods. Hard to come by it, man. They have a great, they have just the right amount of power to handle this heavier 5 and 6 ounce weights without being too stiff. And I'm going to drop this down 120 feet. And there's no way this is getting down to that strike zone, but what happens is when I hook up on the downrigger, I tend to get a little lackadaisical about pedaling, and my speed drops, and that weight will fall down. And because it's a little bit further down there than, or back there than the downrigger is, because I have this huge amount of line out, I've got 150 feet of line out, that thing swings in right into those same areas and schools that I hooked up on the downrigger. That usually works out pretty well, especially here on Chelan. So far, all my bites have been going against the wind, unfortunately. It's a lot nicer catching fish with the wind to your back because it kind of keeps you propelled forward at reasonable speeds. Marking just an absolute massive pile of fish right here. Just hoping I can get one to bite. Should be going through them right now. For some reason, this school will not bite going this way, but if I turn around and come back through them, that's where I got bit last time. Mystery. The mysteries of Kokanee. You'd think it like directionality wouldn't matter that much when it's like 110 feet deep. I mean, not a ton of light down there. I mean, Chelan's clear, I'll give it that, but oh, there we go. That one on the turn. Nice. Nothing on the downrigger, but picked up one on the dropper. Figured I'd get one out of that huge school just eventually. Now, a lot of people will say you have to go up lake to find kokanee in winter, and it's true, there's not a lot of kokanee in the lower basin. But I do find kokanee wintering year-round off Wapato Point and on the edge of Manson Bay. It's not uncommon. Drop weight. Typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that drop weight, speed up a little bit, release it, keep the pressure on him. Still there. I can feel him wiggling. Some nice fish. There you go. Third fish in the boat. Nice. That's a fat fish for winter fishing Lake Chelan. It's a nice winter kokanee. Got a lot of energy, feisty. Traditionally, you'll find a lot of the anglers will run up lake and fish in the narrows and around the yacht club. And that's true. That is one of the better areas to target winter kokanee on Lake Chelan. But like I said, they don't all exit the lower basin, and I always find schools around Chelan State Park, across to Manson Bay, and off Wapato Point, pretty much all winter long. Fish on the downrigger. Got him. So much more fun to pull him on the downrigger, I'll admit that. Been pretty good action here though. I mean, first pass, one bite, two fish on the next pass. Just picked up my third, got a fourth on, potentially. I don't have it in the net yet, but hoping I will soon. That is definitely a size class, not next year's fish, but the following, I think. A little bit on the small side, but got him gill and belly hooked, so I'll keep him. That's a little guy. That's kind of more traditional winter Chelan kokanee for the past several years, but this year the summer fish looked really good, and these winter fish look like we're gonna have another really nice year on Chelan next year, so that's good. They're really holding on that break where it goes from like 90 to like 200 feet, just like plummets. It's right where I'm finding them. We like to think of kokanee as not really structure oriented, and I think that's true like think about like microstructure, like logs and things like that, and other predatory species will tightly associate with that. But kokanee, I think they associate with this sort of mega structure. The methods, they're looking at that, the larger influences of points and drop-offs on the distribution of these fish. There's a school of fish at 90 feet, probably below them on that. I'm headed down towards them with this. But I've got lots of protection right here, just off of Wapato Point. It's really carving the wind off for me. But as soon as I nudge my nose out beyond the end, it's a completely different story. Oop. Yep, dropper. Nice. Dropper scores another one. I like to just relax the rod on the when I'm bringing up these big heavy droppers. That way I'm not putting herky-jerky motion on the rod. I'll just rest it in the slot on my rod holder. And then I just kind of slow grind. Just keep that steady pressure. A lot of times if you just steady pressure it, you're not bouncing it. You get a little bit better landing ratio with these heavy snap weights. About 40 feet to go to the snap weight. The waves are getting bigger out here, so I poke my nose out further. Ugh. Lumpy. Lumpy, lumpy. Alright, should we get into that weight? Just about now. There it is. Let's swing that into me. Speed up a little bit, keep pressure. So there's going to be a little bit of slack line when that weight comes off. You hear it go ting. There's my kokanee. Got him. Nice. That's number 5 in the boat. Other powerboat saw me catch fish. They turned immediately, headed right for me. Monkey see, monkey do. Seems like they've kind of bumped up a little bit. They've seen more fish a little higher, although there's a few fish here at 100 to 90. Just scattered right now. I haven't hit another one of those giant schools in a bit. Usually I'm going to get picked up on the snap weight rods on the inside turn. When it drops and free falls, I feel like that's what gets them going more than when it speeds up and goes up. Keep on the hunt for the big schools. It's a numbers game. When there's 100 fish there, there's bound to be more hungry, stupid ones. And when there's just 2 or 3 fish there. Yeah, it's definitely... I was just about to say, it's definitely only getting bit going the other way, but I just got a bite there. On dropper. Is he still there? Yeah, he's there. Sometimes you just gotta complain about fish to catch fish. Doesn't work every time, but if you complain enough, at some point complaining and catching will coincide and it'll make you feel better. Downrigger's not getting much love here the last 20 minutes. Makes me wonder if I need to go shallow. He's a fighter. Even after coming up on that weight all the way up, he saved his reserves to the surface. Smart little critter. Oh, got him. Looks like we got one on the turn there on the dropper rod. It's actually a decent fish. Let's see if my fancy net fix works. Got it. That's number 7 in the boat. Nice. I'm gonna check that downrigger. It's not performing. This is a big fish. A chunkster. Let's figure out what's going on with my downrigger rod. Why it's not hooking anything. Usually I do better with the downrigger here. I gotta check what's going on with that. It might just be a matter of having some fresh bait on there. You get that hot rod, you keep putting fresh bait on it, it stays the hot rod, and the other bait gets ignored, the other rod gets ignored, and you're not refreshing it. And you lose bites that way. Let's see what we can do here. Fresh bait on the downrigger. If I get another bite on this one and I don't get anything here, I'll maybe try changing the lure up. Micro Hoochie's doing okay, pink purple. Spinner bite seems maybe to have dropped off. Sometimes those snap weights just hunt better. Whew, no bites on this pass. That's not good. Oop, oop. There we go. Complain and you shall receive. Yeah, I think it was just a fresh bait issue with the downrigger. Just want some freshy. Got him. That's number 8 in the boat. Nice. Fresh bait it was, and a little bit shallower, I think. That's the key there. Well, the schools seemed to have dispersed. I got 7 really fast, and then it was like 20-30 minutes until I got number 8. I can't find anything. Barely marking a fish. Yeah, I keep blowing through these schools and not finding much, so I think it's the end. I'm gonna troll back. Maybe I'll get lucky, pick up 1 or 2 more to get my limit, but 8 kokanee is a great day, especially with a late start, since I actually came out here to jig max, but that wind just kept me off the mac water. Anyways, it does just go and show that they don't necessarily have to run all the way up lake to find kokanee. There's definitely a lot more kokanee up lake this time of year in the narrows and beyond. But you know, if you're in a small craft like me and you don't want to go all the way up the lake, you can absolutely grind out a fairly decent catch down in the lower lake, especially sticking around Manson Bay, Wapato Point, and then across to the state park. It's a really good area. Just if you find you know, small scattered schools, be sure to mark them on your GPS, circle back on them, work them over pretty good. At some point though, they will start to scatter, and the bite does seem to drop off. So I could probably stick it out here for a few more hours and get a couple more, but I need more kokanee in my freezer. Like, I need another hole in my head, so I'm probably just gonna troll my way back in. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye, guys.